How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. This is Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. And today, we're going to be talking about triangular prisms and its volume. Before we start, please subscribe, turn the notification bell on. If you haven't seen the other videos on volume, make sure you check them out. Previously, we talked about rectangular prisms, which is this one's right here. Make sure you check that one out. But other than that, let's get right into it. So triangular prisms, we're going to be using basically the same formula that we used for rectangular prisms. The only different thing right now is that now they're called triangular prisms, not rectangular prisms. And they're called like that for a reason. It says right here, a triangular prism is a 3D figure with two parallel, congruent, blank bases. What do we know about the bases? Just like on rectangular prisms, what shapes were those?
Triangles.
Rectangles. So now on a triangular prisms, they're going to be what?
Rectangles. Triangles.
Triangles. So these are going to be triangular bases. And when we look at this, just like when we look at the rectangular prisms, this kind of like, if we put on a real life scenario, it kind of looks like a camping tent right here. That's the zipper. That's how you go in, right? So this is one of my bases. And what shape is this?
Triangle.
Triangle. Now the back wall is also a triangle. So that means this is my second base. Every prism has two bases and they're going to be the same shape.
So why is that the first one and not the second one? Can't that be the first one?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can. Absolutely. So now, let's look at this right here. We have the volume formula, and we have uppercase B, and then we also have H. That's for volume. And right here, uppercase B, just like before, stands for area of the base. And the H is the height of the prism, which is going to be the distance between the two bases. How separated is one from the other one? That's going to be the height of the prism. Okay? Now, this is where it gets confusing. A lot of you would like to say that the bottom is the base because that's where it's sitting at. But no, because it's a triangular prism, therefore the base has to be a triangle. So that's why the bottom is not the base. If you stand this up, you can kind of see that it's going to be the triangle. And you only have two of them. And in the other case, how many rectangles do we have? Three. Only two of them are exactly the same. They're parallel and they are congruent. Parallel means they're never touching, and they're congruent means they're both the same. So now, just like before, now that we identify our bases, we're going to draw the base on the side right here, and I'm going to label everything that I know. So I know the bottom number is going to be what? 8. And then we have the zipper right here. And how much is that?
8.
The zipper, 5. Okay. Now, sometimes you will get a number right here. Let's call that X or whatever. Now, for volume, we do not need that number. You will need it for surface area, but not for volume. Because for volume, now that we look at only this and ignore the prism at this point, we can go ahead and find the V, uppercase B, which is the area of a triangle. And the formula now for a triangle is base times height and then divided by 2. So when I look at this, I'm only looking at this triangle right here. I don't care about the prism right now. This is the base of the prism. That's all I care for now. So I'm going to find the area for that. And how do I do that? It's just base times height divided by 2. So what numbers am I going to use for this?
8 times 5.
8 times 5. Very good. And then we're going to divide that by 2. And what is 8 times 5? 40. And half of 40 is 20. So this is 20 units squared. Why square? Because this is area. At this point, we're still talking about area. So uppercase B, area of the base, is 20 square units. Any questions so far? Now, what is it? That's a triangle. You don't need this symbol right here. I just want to put the little triangle that represents that this is the formula for the area of a triangle. If it's a trapezoid, you can do a trapezoid, circle, whatever the case may be. You don't need to do that. That's just a label for me to remember that I gotta use the formula for the area of a triangle. That way you can look for the triangle area on your reference chart, which is gonna be this right here. Okay? So now that I'm done with the area of the base, I can come back to my prism and I can go ahead and cross out the two numbers that I use. What two numbers have I used so far? So go ahead and cross them out because we don't need them anymore. Okay? To find the volume, we don't need them. Now, we're going to rewrite the volume formula, which is V equals uppercase B times the height. So there's only, we already know what uppercase B is, don't we? Yeah. What is it?
Base
20. So we're going to put 20 here, and we're going to multiply that by the height of the prism, which is the distance between these two bases. The only number that we have not used, which is 12. Again, don't get it confused with the 5 from the triangle, because we already crossed it out. And remember, the height of the prism is going to be the distance between the two bases. So now I'm going to put 12 right here, and I'm good to go. So all I got to do now is multiply 20 and 12, and we get how much? 240. 20 times 2 is 24, and add a 0, and these are 240 units cube. So the volume is 240 cube units. So now that we cover this, again, step 1, find the area, identify the base, which we shaded. Step 2, draw the base on the side and label it. Step 3, find the area of that base. In this case, it's a triangle. So we use the formula base times height divided by 2. Step 3, write down the volume formula and fill it in. For uppercase B, we're going to use the area of the base, which we just found to be 20. And the H is the only number that we have not used on the prism, which in this case is 12, which it represents the distance between the two bases. And we're going to put in where H is at. And all you got to do from there is multiply those two numbers. You are good to go. Any questions so far? Now, do you want to know how to do this way faster?
Yes.
If all you need to do is find the area, the faster way to do this is multiply the three numbers and then divide by 2, and you're good to go. What is 5 times 8? 40. 40 times 12? 480. And half of 480 is? Which is the exact same number that we got right here. So again, the fast way to find the volume of any triangular prism is multiply the three numbers and divide by 2. That's it. Any questions so far? Now, okay, let's go over to one of the last questions right here. We can come back and work on those on our own time. But let's look at this word problem right here. Because this is a little bit different. We're going to have to work it backwards. So let's look at this. And it is not art. So just like when we talk about circumference and diameter, if they gave us the circumference, we could have found diameter by dividing. This is almost the same scenario. So a pencil holder is shaped like a triangular prism. It says in the figure below, which we don't have, but we can easily draw one right here. Right there. And it says that the height of the holder is 11 centimeters. So my base is right here and right here, and they're telling me that the distance between these two bases, right here and here, is 11 centimeters. And they're telling me that the volume of the prism is 198 centimeters cubed. Remember, the formula is V equals uppercase B times the height. In this case, they already gave me V and H. I need to find B. So if we kind of set this up like we did with circles, this is volume, this is uppercase B and H. And if we're looking for B, what do we do? What is V and H doing? If we're looking for B, cover that up. And what is V and H doing? According to dividing. So that's all we got to do. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to substitute the values of anything that I know into the formula. I know V is 198. So instead of V, I'm going to put 198 equal. Instead of uppercase B, I still got to put uppercase B because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the area of the base, which is uppercase B. And instead of the height, I'm going to put what number? 11. Now, what is the uppercase B and the 11 doing? What is this 2 doing? Multiplying. And the opposite of multiply is? So we divide by 11. We divide by 11. This crosses out, leaves us with B, which is what we're looking for. And then on this one, all we got to do is TiVo, 198 divided by 11, and that gives us 18. So the area of the base is 18 centimeters squared. Just work it backwards. Any questions so far? Well, that's how you work the volume backwards. If you're trying to find the area of the base or the height, you can use this setup over here, cover what you're looking for, and do the operation that is telling you right there, or solve for the unknown by a one-step equation. And the other thing that we learned today is how to find the area right there. We already covered this, and also we said how to find the volume, and we also covered how to find the volume fast. To find the volume fast, all you got to do is multiply the 3 numbers and divide by 2 for any triangular prism. I hope that you learned something today. If you did not, please watch it again. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and other than that, let's ride.